Good morning, everyone. Welcome. Thanks for coming to this Tuesday, June 20th, 2017 regular meeting of the McLean County Board. I'll call the meeting to order at this time. Please rise and have an invocation by Member Segoviano.
Call upon you to guide us in our deliberations as we shall and should make honest decisions for those individuals we elected to serve here in McLean County. Also, during this vacation season, we ask you to protect those who are on the road to and from their destination so that they enjoy their summer months. We also ask you to protect those who are working on the roads and highways that they will travel, as well as protecting those who work the fields to produce the grains that will feed this nation. We ask all this in your name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Will the county clerk please call the roll?
Paul Segoviano.
Here.
David Seltzer.
Here.
James Soldner.
Here.
George Wendt.
Present.
Lori Woolrab.
Here.
Josh Barnett.
Here.
Jacob Beard.
Present.
Richard Buchanan.
Here.
William Casely.
Here.
Don Cavallini.
Here.
Chuck Erickson.
Here.
George Gordon. Absent. Mark Johnson.
Here.
Randall Martin.
Here.
Catherine Metzger.
Present.
Scott Murphy.
Here.
Eric Rankin.
Present.
Carla Robustelli.
Present.
Susan Schaefer.
Here.
John McIntyre.
Here. We have 19 members present, one absent. We do have a quorum. We have no members of the public appearing this morning. We'll move on to the consent agenda. We have a couple items there. Do I have a motion?
Would we approve it?
Motion by Member Segoviano, second by Member Casely. I want to note that there's one abstention on item B9 from Member Murphy. Also, I'd like to point out a correction on page 3. The last reappointment for the Board of Health should be Cynthia H. Kerber, Ph.D. I want to make that correction. We made that at the exec meeting as well. Her address is 1014 Broadway, Normal, 61761. Apologize to the Board of Health members and to Mrs. Kerber for that mistake. Other than that, there's a motion. Any other corrections or additions or comments? If none, all in favor of accepting the consent agenda as amended, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion's carried. We'll move on to standing committee reports. We'll go to Vice Chair Member Soldner.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Executive Committee has no items for action today. I will mention that there are many reports and minutes in our packet, and our unapproved minutes are on page 2 through 8 of the unapproved minutes. I'd be glad to answer any questions.
Thank you, sir. We're going to Land Use and Development Committee Chair Member Erickson.
The Land Use and Development Committee has no items to be presented for action.
Thank you. Transportation Committee Chair Member Casely.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have one item for action today, and that's a request for an ordinance regulating the use of county highways and imposing a fee for construction and other activities on the county highways. And I move that.
Motion by Member Casely, second by Member Cavallini. Any comments or questions or discussion? If none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion is carried.
We have a general report, and our minutes are found on page 21 of the unapproved minutes.
Thank you, sir. We'll move on to the Property Committee Chair Member Segoviano.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have one item for action, and it's request approval of emergency appropriation ordinance amending the McLean County fiscal year 2017 combined annual appropriation and budget ordinance for facility department. It takes a 2/3 vote, and I would move that.
Motion by Member Segoviano, second by Member Johnson. Comments or questions? Any discussion? If none, all in favor, please say aye. Opposed?
Our
Motion is
unapproved
carried.
minutes can be found on pages 28 and 29. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, sir. We'll move on to Justice Committee, Vice Chair Member Went.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have two items to present. We have, first item is E1A, and that's request approval of an emergency appropriation ordinance amending the McLean County fiscal year 2017 combined annual appropriation and budget ordinance Fund 0024, General Fund Court Services 2/3, pursuant to 55 ILCS 5/C-1003, and I so move.
Motion by Member Went. Is there a second? Second by Member Robustelli. Any comments or questions? This does require 2/3 vote. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Any dissenting votes that want to be recorded? Motion is carried.
Our second item, Mr. Chair, is E1B, request approval of Victims of the Crime Act, VOCA grant extension through December 31st, 2017 for State's Attorney's Office, and I so move.
A motion by Member Went, second by Member Kaisley. Comments or questions? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried.
And our reports is in the minutes.
Thank you
Very much, Mr. Chair.
Sir, we'll move on to the Finance Committee. Chair Member Selzer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The first item we bring for action is item F1A. It's request approval of an ordinance for prevailing rate of public works wages for McLean County, and I would so move that.
Motion by Member Selzer, second by Member Cavallini. Comments or questions? Member Kaisley.
It really does bother me that we have to adopt this every year, and the legislature has imposed this duty upon us, but nevertheless, it makes me bristle, and I'm opposed to it.
Thank you. Any other comments?
Yes, and I agree with Member
Go ahead.
Kaisley.
Okay, thank you. Any further comments? All in favor of passing motions, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We have 1, 2 recorded, no votes? Okay, motion has carried. We'll move on. Thank you.
The next item we bring for action is to accept and place on file the popular annual financial report of December 31st, 2016, and I would so move it.
Motion by Member Selzer, second by Member Woolrath. Comments or questions? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion is carried.
Mr. Chairman, I was remiss prior to announcing the vote on that, just that I wanted to extend my thanks to the Auditor's Office for that report. If you don't have it, it's a great report to keep in your satchel for anybody that has questions about the county, along with the next one that we're moving here, and that's to accept and place on file the outside auditor's report, including the comprehensive annual financial report, commonly known as the CAFR, management letter of advisory comments, and the single audit report for the year ended December 31st, 2016, and I would so move that.
Motion by Member Selzer. Is there a second? Second by Member Segoviano. Comments or questions? Member Kaisley?
I do notice in the letter of May 19, 2017, from Baker, Tilly, Virchow, and Kraus, in paragraph 8D, II, and VII, that the pension liability is understated in each of these paragraphs. And is that due to the fact that IMRF did not tell us what our liability was correctly?
Do you want to respond to this? Yes, sir. I'll refer to staff.
Our understanding from Baker Tilly is that first they experience this with every IMRF audit that they do currently, and that it is based upon the process of report receivable from IMRF, and then what is acknowledged during the audit process. But it is not unique to McLean County.
Is that something that has been approved by the IMRF auditors?
I have no way of knowing that, but I'm assuming that our outside auditor does know that and has approved it. Do you have a comment?
I think everyone understands the issue that exists between what IMRF is reporting initially and then what the audit reviews provide. So there's no misunderstanding or lack of knowledge on either party as to why this exists. There's just not been any resolution to date, and this has occurred for the last, I believe, 2 years. So
I think it is a matter of some concern, particularly in view of the number of dollars that is owed to the state pension plans, and I don't think we want to get into the same position of being underfunded. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other further comments? All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion is carried. Sir?
That was C, correct?
Correct.
Sorry. Yeah, I just want to double check. Finally, we need to accept and place on file the management letter of advisory comments and the single audit report for the year ended December 31st, 2016, and I would move that.
Motion by member Selzer. Is there a second? Second by member Schaefer. Any comments or questions about the management letter? If none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? The motion is carried.
And again, I would just like to extend my thanks to the auditor, the treasurer, the administrator's office, and everybody involved in this audit. It's a very lengthy and arduous process, as we all know, and the fellow members of the Finance Committee. Thank you.
Thank you. Duly noted. We'll move on to the Health Committee Chair, member Schaefer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Health Committee has one item for action today. We request approval of a resolution of the McLean County Board of Health recommending changes to Chapter 310 of the McLean County Code, and I so move.
Motion by member Schaefer, second by member Woolrab. Any comments or questions? If none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion's carried.
Our unapproved minutes can be found on pages 44 through 51 of the packet.
Thank you, Mr. Schaefer. County Administrator report, Mr. Wasson.
I have nothing for the committee today other than to note that all our departments are actively engaged in the budget process for fiscal year 2018. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Go on to item 8, other business and communication. Do we have any other things at this time? Vice Chair Solner.
Yes, I'd just like to mention that the subcommittee that's looking into the funds for the CDAP program is going to meet on, I believe it's July the 12th, I think at 4:30, I believe that's right. So I just wanted to mention that.
Thank you. We will have a convening a meeting of the Liquor Control Commission in room 404 immediately following this meeting. Are there any other comments? If none, we have bills to pay, and these have been reviewed and approved by our auditor and recommended for payment in the amount of $3,386,073.81. There's a motion to approve the bills by member Cavallini, second by member Johnson. Comments or questions? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, the same. The motion is carried. Any other comments? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn at this time. Motion by member Segoviano, second by member Schaefer. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion's carried. This meeting is adjourned.
Should have one of these.